Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Thank you for joining us for episode 78 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn, a knitting and crocheting podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter, Alyson. I'm coming at you from Virginia.
And I'm coming from Scotland. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the pod.
Yeah.
I'm feeling extra colorful today. Like, I never wear this much color. Pink, and I've got my...
Pink and green.
And yet mint and bright yellow, but...
Yeah, you look good. I like it when you wear pastels. I mean, I did buy you that sweater.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you. And you do too, with your glasses and your thing that you're wearing. Which we will get to in due course.
Yeah, we'll talk about later. It's snowing over here.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's giving the room some light that's a little different from the usual light.
Oh, yeah.
Like
reflecting the snow.
Yeah. So we have two thank yous. And they're both on Ravelry. We have Mthom23.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Emily, and she said hello, and earliest burb, B-I-R-B.
Burb.
And she doesn't give us her real name, but she says hello too. So hi, Rebecca.
I assume that's like the early burb gets the worm.
That's what I'm assuming.
Very good. Well, hello, and thank you for saying hi.
Yes, we haven't had any hellos in a while. So
yeah, we haven't really been pushing Ravelry, but it's still there in case anyone does want to say hi. But will we do our BuzzFeed quiz?
Sure.
So it's
okay.
This blue aesthetic quiz will reveal which blue-wearing fictional woman you are. So if anybody's, we'll try to be as descriptive as possible because it's very, yeah, for people who are.
It's all shades of blue.
Yeah. So, well, who did you get?
Who did I get? I got Cinderella.
Uh-huh.
You have a heart, what?
Nothing.
You got her too?
No.
You have a heart of gold, and you always do your best to stay strong, even in the most difficult times. Your kindness is inspiring, and people are always happy to see you enter a room. And pictured is the live action Cinderella in her blue dress.
Well, the reason why I went is because I actually know who Cinderella is, because I don't know who I got, or I don't know of the thing. It's Frances Stevens in To Catch a Thief. So that's
I don't know that one either.
It's a Grace Kelly movie, I think.
Okay. And that was a colored picture?
I looked it up. It's from 1955. And it says, you always carry a sense of elegance with you, and you may be difficult to get to know due to your independence, but once someone gets to know you, they'll see how genuine and fun you are. And that doesn't sound like me.
No, it doesn't. That sounds kind of like the opposite of you. Well, you can be very elegant, but what you want to be, but definitely I think you wear your heart on your sleeves, and you are who we see. So
yeah. But I think the Cinderella one was good for you.
Okay. I had a hard time because blue is my favorite color, and I liked all the pictures.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one picture I didn't like.
Okay, well, I'll skip the first one because that one's hard to explain. But what about the second question was choose a blue picture for your Instagram. And then there were 6 different options of various things that happened to be blue.
I chose the blue boardwalk at the beach with the turquoise water in the background. I
went for the blue coffee truck because that seems like the kind of thing that I would take a picture of and then put on Instagram.
I like that too, but like I said, there isn't a picture in there that I don't like.
Well, I feel like the last picture is like at a rave or something, and you probably wouldn't have posted that on your Instagram. But the other ones,
I still like that.
Because you've got the umbrella display, the Ferris wheel, or like London Eye-esque. It's not the London Eye. And then maybe a geyser?
No, it's just a Ferris wheel.
Or a waterfall?
No, I think it's a waterfall.
Yeah. What about which blue food item do you want? Which was a bit like, you know, only one of those foods is naturally blue. Just a blueberry.
And it's not, the blueberries aren't really blue. They're more purple than blue. I almost went for the ice cream.
Yeah, but that's probably like cotton candy flavored.
But I didn't pick that. I picked the cupcakes with the
blue icing.
They look like blue roses, blue and purple roses. The frosting, I mean. So I like that one. What'd you pick?
I went for the macaron, which is why I'm so elegant and fancy.
Though the blue donuts didn't appeal to me at all.
No, I mean,
I like the color. I don't think I would pick a blue.
Yeah.
Donut.
What about the blue outfit?
I picked the oversized shirt and jeans.
So did I. You mean like the hoodie? No, the oversized shirt. Oh, like the blouse button down.
Button down shirt.
Even though it's ripped jeans.
I have a pair of ripped jeans. Though
pre-distressed or
good point. Pre-distressed, but the holes are actually covered. There's actually
like fabric under it.
Yeah, more denim underneath.
Right.
So it's not real holes.
Well, I went for the jean jacket and the hoodie. Comfy clothes.
Yeah, those two both look like comfy clothes.
Yeah.
So I just like the color of the blue shirt. Okay, what about the blue related word?
The options were ocean, sky, whale, bird, berry, butterfly. And I went for ocean.
I picked ocean too.
Well, I don't see how bird is associated with blue. Because they fly.
It starts with
a
B, and they can be blue in color.
Like, you don't think bird blue. I think bird brown.
Not if it's a bluebird or a blue jay.
True. Alrighty. Crafty content?
Sure. You have any WIPs, sweetie?
I do. So I'll do the one that we've all seen before first, and that's just my blurred lines sweater. Just making some progress on the sleeves. So I've done one, like maybe 15 rows, and then I ran out of the ball that I was at, so I've just switched to the other one just to like do them simultaneously.
So you can alternate them, yeah.
Yeah, although I've alternated skeins throughout the 3 different colors, but I'm not doing it in the sleeve because I think it'll be all right. They seem pretty similar. How would you know? Yeah. So the only thing is I've put it on a few times, and I definitely have some extra room like here in the bust. So does like because I shortened it obviously under the sleeve, but I didn't shorten the yoke at all, which I probably could have done.
Yeah,
but I didn't think about.
Or made the sleeve hole bigger. Sometimes that helps.
Yeah, I actually think I could have made the sleeve hole bigger, but yeah, it is too late for that. It still looks okay. So yeah, still chugging away on that. What do I want to talk about next? Will I talk about my Archive KCAL swatch?
Sure. I mean, I put that in my WIPs because a swatch is still,
Yeah.
So that's a big sack of yarn.
This is my sack of yarn. I got the yarn delivered. So I went for this aubergine color for the silk mohair. So yeah,
that looks luscious. That looks like
very nice.
It looks nice.
And then that's paired with a Rowan alpaca yarn of a similar color, slightly lighter, but they work fine together. So so that's silk mohair, and then the alpaca is alpaca. The Rowan is BB Suri alpaca and fine merino. So let's watch.
Oh.
So So
that looks very cool.
They're held together. It's very soft and nice. And yeah, even though the shades aren't exactly like the same, once it's all mixed together, like you can't tell.
It looks fine. Yeah.
Blends all in together, really nice.
So once it's all blended together, does it look more like the mohair or look more like the merino? You gotta put it next to this.
Oh, in terms of the color.
Yeah.
I think it looks
probably the merino.
I think it looks more like mohair.
Oh no. Yeah. I think it's like a good. It really is a true mix.
Yeah. So the pattern I'm doing was the 373 cardigan. And I printed out pretty much the extent of the pattern is this. So people can see.
Oh, wow.
It's just, a chart and schematics. So I've done the swatch in the chart. I've gone down quite a bit in the hook size. It calls for a 3 millimeter hook, but I've done it with a 2 millimeter.
Oh. Well, you did say that you're a loose crocheter.
Yeah, I'm a pretty loose crocheter. I think the row height isn't quite right, but because the pattern's just the chart and the schematics, I think it'll be pretty easy to adapt and just kind of make it the size that it says it needs to be. And because the stitch count is right, I think the width will pretty much be the same. I'll just have to add extra rows, potentially, to get it to be the right length. So yeah, it's a sort of lacy-ish, not like a chunky lace. I don't really know. It's holey. It's not like a completely solid fabric.
Yeah, that looks... Well, I mean, you don't want... I think it's a good mix of holes and fabric.
Yeah.
Because if it's too holey, then it kind of doesn't really work.
Yeah, it's not too holey. And I feel like because it's got the mohair, like, even though there's holes, like, the holes were kind of like filled in with the mohair fiber. So I also am just taking a punt on whether or not I have enough yarn. I'll just see. And I think if I run out of yarn, I'll just buy more yarn and hope that the color will be okay.
It probably will. I mean,
yeah, I suspect the bigger frustration will be trying to incorporate the knitted elements. So
yeah, but that doesn't come until the very end, so you don't have to worry about that yet.
Yeah. And then my last WIP is a new WIP.
Oh, you have a new WIP.
And they are obviously Bernie inspired mittens, if you're looking at it. So obviously lots and lots of people have been doing these Bernie inspired, or his mittens, which were mittens that were made by a woman in Vermont, a teacher. She sells them on Etsy, and they're just made out of upcycled sweater fabrics. So she sews them together. Most of the patterns or versions that people are doing, especially the knitted versions, they've taken this brown motif that you can see on the back of his hand and just carried around the full mitten. But the actual mitten is made out of 3 different fabrics because it's sewn. It's sewn from a panel in the front, one at the top, the fingers, the back of the fingers, the front of the fingers, and then another one at the bottom of the hand. And then it's sewn together that way. So I found a sewing pattern. It's a Purl Soho pattern for felted wool mittens. So it's sewn out of wool felt. And so you can see that's the sort of top bit with the thumb. And that gets paired with the bottom bit with the thumb. I mean, it's opposite if we go that way. So the thumbs are together. And then the back of the hand. So I'm being more literal with my version because I'm also making 3 different sections. So that's my back of the hand, which has the brown bits. My only problem is, so I've picked wool. I've picked done DK Jamesons of Shetland, and obviously I picked my yarns from online, and my 2 dark brown colors are quite close, a bit too close.
Wait. Oh,
do they look the
I
same?
Because there's two different. No, they don't look the same. They definitely look different.
They are different, but they're very, very close. So there's a section in the mitten where they're right next to each other, and you can hardly tell the difference.
It's like one is chocolate milk and one is dark chocolate.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think in his mittens, the lighter brown of the two is a little more warm, like a little almost like orangey-ish. But yeah, so how I'm doing it, lots of people who have done a crocheted version have done a waistcoat stitch, which is where you insert the hook into the V of the stitch instead of into the front of the stitch instead of the top where you're supposed to. And I thought about doing it that way, but then I decided not to because that just creates like a really, really dense fabric, and I think you'll end up using more yarn because it's a really short stitch as well. So I wanted to try and not do that. But also because I'm working it flat and not in the round, you've got the difference of the front of the stitch and the back of the stitch. So what I've done is I've done a single crochet stitch, but when I'm working on the wrong side, I'm working it in reverse, backwards. So I insert the hook from the back and then scoop up my yarn from the front. So if you were ambidextrous, you could do it in your left hand, so that essentially you're always looking at the right side. So you would have to do your right hand and then your left hand and then your right hand. So that way my stitches are always the front of the stitches without it being in the round. The only problem is because the stitches lean, like those little blob of a shape are supposed to be like little crosses, but they don't look like crosses. So the pattern doesn't really work for shapes like that, whereas you can see in like the zigzag, it works a little bit better. But I've just decided, screw it, it's just an experiment anyway. Yeah, so that's that. And then if you look in the photo, you can see there's a bit of blue, and the blue is the top of his hand. Yep. And I've just started the thumb. But because I'm not really sure like how big to make the thumb, I've started on the bottom of the hand, which I had to source pictures from other events, because in all the inauguration photos, you can see a little bit of this side of his hand, but you can mostly just see the back, the brown, and a bit of the blue. So I found pictures.
So wait, is that the cuff?
No, so this would be the bottom of the hand.
Oh, I see.
This is the bottom of the hand, and then you'll get a little bit of the thumb.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which will, get sewn to the top of the hand and the bit of thumb. But yeah, so I sourced photos from other events where he was photographed wearing the same mittens, and there's a couple where you can see that the right side, or the other side of his hand. So I've drawn out a chart, so you could use this. That's my chart for the back of his hand, and then this is my chart for the white and green side of the side that you can't see in the inauguration photos. And again, this particular pattern doesn't really translate well with this stitch, so it kind of just looks like random bits of green and gray, but whatever. It'll still be more like an attempt at accuracy, more so than some of the other versions. So yeah, so it'll go like, I'll sew it together, like right sides together sort of thing, but it'll be that, and then that's at the bottom. And then
I suppose if you were to knit that version, you can just knit like, excuse me, like a big rectangle of the pattern of each one, and then just cut it.
Yeah, you could, and sew it like the way the way it's actually made. And then I'll do the cuff in whatever I've got left, essentially, because I've just gotten one ball of each. So I've got lots of browns for the brown, and then the blue, and the light gray and the green.
That's very clever.
So yeah, I'm nearly done with this first one. I basically just need to finish the thumbs, and then I'll sew it together. Are you gonna
put out a pattern, or are you just gonna wear it?
I might just like a really brief, like, these are my charts and this is like I followed this sewing pattern sort of thing, but Probably not too much more than that, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll also see how, like, I feel like, because I've done it also custom for my hands, and I have quite small hands, so I think these will just about fit me, and I think anybody with bigger hands would have to make them bigger, which surprised me because I was mapping them against the sewing pattern, and that has quite, you know, it's got a seam allowance. So I thought these are going to be too big, but actually they're not, because once I actually sew them together as well, there's essentially a seam allowance as well.
So yeah, very nice. Well, if it's a little bit bigger, you can always line it with like a
fleece, like his are.
Well, I wasn't going to say a fleece because a fleece would take up too much room, but like a jersey fabric, interlock, knitted fabric, so to give you a little bit more warmth.
I mean, these will be my third pair of mittens. Handmade mittens.
I think I only have one pair of mittens that I made myself that I haven't worn since I left New Hampshire. So I have my my modified Sagitta.
Yeah.
And I think I'm on the 6th color. No, I'm on the 5th color, and I'm almost done with the 5th color. And there's only 8 colors in the braid that I bought. What's it called?
Set.
So that's that. And I'm hoping that when I block it, I can block it a little deeper, a little, you know, a little wider, deeper. And so, and the most interesting, I did the math really well, which I mentioned.
What are you opening?
Sorry, my yarn. So I mentioned a couple episodes that I did math good. So this is all I have left of each color, and some of the balls are bigger.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, I did a really good job doing math, and there's just 2 more on the braid that I'll have to roll up. So I've decided that it's not going to be enough because I want it once I block it deeper, it's not going to be as long as I want it to be, because it won't go all, because I want it arm span, you know. So I had to buy. Of course, did I bring that over? I had to buy some more yarn, and so I decided I bought a purple and a pink. 2 purples and a pink. I can't remember what I bought, but anyway, I bought some yarn, and then once I add those, I'll tell you what kind of yarn I ended up getting. So that's that.
So how is that going to fit in the, like, you know, transition of colors?
You're gonna make me work, right? I don't know what I don't know what I did to can't remember, but this blue, I mean, it's like a dark purple. Would look okay with it.
Yeah.
And then a lighter purple, and then a pink.
Okay, I see.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that I think that's what I ended up. Oh, you know what? The yarn's right here. Oh, I just got one dark purple. So these are the colors. So it'll be next to this.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it'll look
pop
good
at the end.
Yeah, just like, whoa, it's pink. So I bought 2. These are little mini skeins that I bought, and it's Rich Hill yarns, and this one, and that's a local dyer. And this one is also a local dyer. It's called Urban Girl Yarns, and it's this. What is the color called? Rocket Man.
That's not. We definitely. We used.
I think I gave away.
Yeah, for price, Urban Girl Yarns.
For price, yeah.
So are they all quite high twist yarns?
Yes, or they're twisted. They're not singles.
But like I can just like really see the twist even on the camera.
This one. Well, this one's not quite. This one is a little different.
Coolio.
There's a cat down there scratching. Can you hear it?
There's a truck down there rumbling.
So that's that. And that's the only FO, I mean, not FO, WIP, other than my gauge swatch. And I did one already. I don't know what I did to it. I think the cats took it. And this is so I am making the Lovage by Marie Wallen, and I'm using Jameson's Spindrift, which I got in Edinburgh when I was with you, 2019 Christmas, right? Yes. And so anyway, I made a gauge swatch, and then I decided, you know what? Because I decided I was gonna knit it from
the bottom up.
From the bottom up. Well, it is, the pattern is from the bottom up, but I'm gonna knit it from the color work up.
Right.
And then back down. So that means the sleeves, at least this part of the sleeves, has to be done separately and then joined when the yoke with the and then knit up this way. That makes sense to you?
No, I don't understand.
So when you knit top down, you know, you knit down here, and then you have to separate it for the sleeves, and then you put the sleeve stitches on waist yarn, and then you continue the body.
Right.
But when you're doing it the other way around, you have to knit the body up until you're ready for the sleeves. Then you knit the sleeves up until it's ready to join the body, and then you put it all together, and then you knit all the way up. Okay. So I started a sleeve, and this is kind of like my gauge swatch and probably a sleeve. And this is what I've done. And because the colors are not the colors that I got for, not the same yarn that it calls for, and I'm doing different colors. And plus, when we were at, what was the name of the store
Be
that we went
Inspired
to?
Fibers.
She didn't have all the colors that I was looking for, and so I had to do some thinking. And I ended up with a couple of colors that I wasn't all that crazy about. So I think I'm gonna order some Jamesons and Smith from the Woolly Thistle to mix in with this. So this is what I have so far, and it doesn't look like much, but I'm happy with the color because I've been playing with the color. I hope I have enough yarn because I keep making these color swatches to see how the colors go. So if I don't have enough yarn, then it's going to be a completely different sweater. So that's all I have.
Wait, sorry. Going back, in terms of the way you're doing it versus the way it's meant to be done. You're still doing it the same, why? Like, you know.
I'm doing the chart the same from the
but I mean, like,
up.
In terms of, like, the yoke from the bottom up and the sleeve portion from the bottom up, and then joining them all to do the rest, Okay,
yeah. And then I'm gonna see how much yarn I have left, and then maybe do more charts down the arm and the body, depend,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if you do more chart, but you do it down instead of up, do you have to change the way? Do you have to like shift because you're working down instead of up?
Yeah, it depends on the chart. Like the tree, if definitely would want to do that.
But you know how the other day we were talking about the V's versus the.
So I mean, I would have to see which chart looks okay going top down versus bottom up.
Complicated.
There's a few charts in there, so I can pick and choose which chart I want to be next to what, or I can pick other charts.
Yeah.
So that's my complicated. Why do I do this to myself?
I don't know.
Because I want to do the fun part first. That's why. That's the whole reason why I'm doing it this way. Because I want to do the fun part first, and also, I'm not sure if I got enough yarn of the base color of the main color.
What color are you using?
It's gray. It's called Steel. Yeah, I just dropped it. Do I have another one? Okay, I'm gonna have to get off my chair. So it's like this medium gray. Oh, and I'm stuck. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting on a spinny chair. So it's got this medium gray, and originally I was gonna do. There was one chart where the gray and the green were supposed to be next to each other, but the green, you really couldn't see because it was almost like the same. There wasn't enough contrast.
Yeah.
Even though it looked like there would be enough, but once it was together, it wasn't quite enough. So that's why I ended up with this teal instead of the green over here.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel
because
like your colors are going to be a lot zingier than traditional Murray Wallen colors.
Yeah, because you know.
Because you're so zingy.
So oh well, I mean, these are just the colors I ended up with.
The colors you like.
They are the colors. There is an orange in there.
Ooh.
It's in my swatch. I have to hunt down that swatch. I know. I saw it last night and I put it on top of my bag, and it wasn't there this morning.
The cats have scarpered off with it.
Hopefully, it's like. Hopefully, it has. They're pretty good about not chewing like my knitting. They'll like play with the ends. But this is very felty yarn. I mean, it's yarn that felts. So, yeah. So that's all I got. WIPs wise.
I have an FO.
You do?
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I realized it's like the same colors as the shawl I'm wearing.
So you like those colors.
So this is well, part of it is because, oh no, wait, no. Yes, this bright yellow green is the same yarn. So, yeah, so this is my mood scarf. It's finished. That's how long it is. All 365 days because it was a leap year.
It's not super long. It's not.
No, it's a good length. Like I could wrap it around once, and it's. I mean, I think ideally I would maybe even make it a few inches shorter, but I couldn't because it has to be 365 rows long.
365 days.
Yeah, so it is all done. And I thought, I was afraid there was going to be like a lot of white space because of my meh days. And for anybody who doesn't know, this is my, I marked what my mood was each day on a 1 to 5 scale. So the middle one was just neutral. But there's enough, like, you know, happy or sad days in between the swaths of neutral days to make it interesting and stripy. But you can definitely tell this is the beginning of the year. This was an interesting part of the year. And then it's like more white. What did happen though is I ran out of white yarn because there were so many white days.
Oh no!
I'd already mixed 2 different white yarns, one of which was a significantly wider or fatter, thicker. So when I was using that thicker yarn, I had 1 less stitch just to try and compensate. And I realized that because I don't know if you can really tell, the first white section I did it kind of bulges out a little bit. And then after that, I reduced the stitches. But even doing that, I ran out and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was 8 white rows short. So just at the very end, I mean, you can't even tell, but these rows here, maybe you can. It's sort of a cleaner white. It's a little bit more blue.
It's hard to tell in the picture.
Yeah, no, and the sun's starting to come through the window as well. I used the Orkney Angora yarn, St. Magnus. It's 50% Angora, 50% wool, lamb's wool, I think.
Ooh.
That I used that for a cowl, the purple, white and gray charcoal cowl that I did. I think it's the Carlaway cowl. So that's where I had the white left over from. And then I also used that to do a border around just the long
Nice.
edges, just to clean it up. Because one side, so if you're doing the Tunisian, the front side, the first side, whatever, that side was really messy, but the side on the left was really neat, which is really annoying me. So I did the border of just single stitches to kind of help tidy up the messy side. And that's in the same Angora yarn, so it's kind of got like little bits of Angora sticking out like all around the edge. But yeah, so I finished that, and it's a good scarf.
Nice. Very nice. Well, I also have one FO. It's like, wow, it's like when it rains, it pours around here. And I'll have to stand up. I'm wearing my poncho, my Comfort Zone Poncho. Oh, I'm stuck on my yarn. So, I don't know if you can see. Woohoo! Yay! So I'm wearing this, and I'm very happy with it. I haven't even blocked it yet. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wear it. I don't think.
So is the neck? Is it folded in at the moment, or?
Yeah, I mean, because it is a lighter
slouchy
weight yarn than the pattern, and also, you know, it's not gonna.
And you haven't blocked it. I feel like it's like curling in because you haven't blocked it.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it is a rib. I think it's the fact that it's a lighter weight yarn. It doesn't have as much what is it, strength to stand
Structure.
up. Yeah, that's a good word. But if, because you know it's an Aran, which would be a lot stiffer. And so anyway, but it works for me because there's no I wouldn't be able to wear an Aran weight anything.
And is this
at this point
the Comfort Zone, was that a poncho pattern?
The Comfort Zone is a poncho pattern. No, that's a poncho pattern, and the Paloma is a DK weight sweater, and I kind of use the math of the Paloma sweater to figure out how much stitches to use. Yeah, instead of swatching. I mean, I probably could have achieved it by swatching, but
because so the Comfort Zone, is that done with a different yarn?
Yeah, it's done in Aran weight, and this is
gotcha.
More of a DK. Yeah. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Well, it looks very good and cozy.
Yeah, it is very cozy.
I mean, I was saying to you the other day that I had this like big oversized like wool felt almost like sweater, and it's like my over sweater. I wear it sometimes over this sweater because it's like so that would just be perfect for just putting over everything. You could be wearing a shawl underneath it. just put on all your normal clothes and then just put that on top.
Well, I don't think it really gets that cold here. Oh, somebody actually has a snowblower out there. But at least not for me. And it's just I think also the heating in your apartment is not very efficient, so
we don't turn it on very much because we're cheap.
You're also on the second floor, so heat rises, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's warmer up there than it would be downstairs.
Yeah. And there's there's a B&B below us, and normally when there's lots of guests coming and going, I think they keep their heat on, which makes us warm. But there's nobody.
Can you feel the difference?
I mean, I'm not really observant enough, but I think there probably is a slight difference.
Okay. Cool. So, what's next?
Well, just a reminder that at this point the Archive KCAL has started. I've already posted on Instagram, but we're a few days in, so you're still free to join us, and it's running for 3 months. So plenty of time for us to not finish the sweaters that we've decided to make.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish, but we'll see.
But we will try. Somebody's already commented on Instagram that they've got a hibernating project from like 2015, so she's gonna work on that, and I think that definitely qualifies, even though it's not a favorited pattern that she's not worked on yet. It's still from the archive.
That's good. That's good. This will be interesting to see everybody's project.
Yeah.
Can't wait. And you have other news, I know.
Yes. So the previously I've mentioned it here, yeah. Moorit, the crochet magazine that I am creating. If you're on Instagram, you've probably seen already because I've been posting about it all the time. But the Kickstarter launched at the end of January on the 26th, and I was looking to raise £10,600, and that was the cost I calculated to create the first issue. And we got that money in less than 48 hours. Which was amazing. I mean, just the amount of people who have said that this is the magazine that they want to, or they really want to see, what comes out of it, and they've just felt like underserved in terms, like in this sort of way, has been really encouraging. And just, the fact that we got the funding in 2 days is just astounding. I was honestly speechless. And then we've also hit my stretch goal, which will help me at least double the print run. So originally I'd made my estimates based off of 500 copies, because I figured I would make the goal as achievable as possible, because I didn't know this is going to happen. So now we've got so many pre-orders. I think at this point there's over 300 pre-orders. If I had only printed 500 copies, that, pretty much just satisfies the pre-orders, and then that doesn't really leave that many copies for other people who haven't found the crowdfunder yet, or the Kickstarter to buy copies. So definitely I'm going to be printing at least 1,000 copies. And then we've reached another stretch goal. I'd set another stretch goal at 16,000. I can't believe, wait. Are those the numbers? Oh my god, it's just hitting me again how much money we raised. Like, that doesn't even sound possible. 16,000, yeah. I'd set another second stretch goal at 16,000, which will increase some of the rewards. So people who have pre-ordered a physical copy of the magazine will also get some stitch markers, and I'll also commission definitely a project that's non-crochet. TBD what it is, but I've got some ideas. So Moorit's really, really happening. So yeah, but if you haven't backed, there is still plenty of time to back. The campaign doesn't end until the 23rd of February, so you have until then to back the project. And at the moment, this is the only way to pre-order a copy. If you miss out on this chance, you'll be able to pre-order once we get closer to publication, because it's actually happening.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It's so... Wait, you're gonna need help packaging all this stuff, huh?
Yeah, Sam. Me and Sam.
Maybe I should just fly over and help you out. Because I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Although by September,
That's okay.
But yeah, so thank you. I know lots of listeners have backed or shared the project, and because sharing is also good, just so that new people can see the project who haven't yet. So thank you. It's like just going through the backers, like I recognize names of our listeners. Like, oh, I know that person. Oh, that sounds familiar.
The whole family is excited. Even Madeline said she was refreshing every 2 hours when it first started, and she I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited.
I mean, it's such early days already, but I'm just so excited. I know everyone's excited, but like to actually just get the actual copy. Not even just the copy. I think once I have samples and then it starts getting photographed and just seeing the photograph of lovely, lovely crochet just done up in like a really nice way, it's just gonna be so cool. So yeah, that's my yarny bits and bobs.
I guess I'll have to learn to do crochet a little bit better.
Hey, I'm doing some knitting, supposedly.
You are. Okay. So I have a bit of news as well. And I don't know where we will put this. But we're moving again.
In case anyone's counting, that'll be the third place my mom has podcasted from.
Yeah. So I don't know how much detail to go into, but basically my husband got a new job because he lost his other one.
Hashtag COVID.
Yeah, it was a COVID casualty, his job that brought him down to Virginia. So he got a new job. This one is in Michigan, except we're not going straight to Michigan. We're starting out in Tennessee.
So for a few episodes, you'll hear, and I'm coming to you from Tennessee, from my mom.
So we'll be in Tennessee for a few months before we end up in Michigan. So that's why.
Empty shelves in the background.
My fabrics have all been packed away, and it was a really hard decision deciding what to bring to Tennessee with me and what to go into storage, because we already have an apartment in Tennessee, and so yeah, the packers will be here in 2 weeks. I don't know if I should laugh or cry, but they're coming in 2 weeks. And they're taking all my stuff away, putting in storage. And then the cats and I are heading down to Tennessee. So,
over? Up?
Down and over. It's to the west, slightly south. So all the snow that we have right now, your dad doesn't have any in Tennessee right now. Yeah. Of course, he's not here to help me shovel. You can actually, if you can hear carefully, you can probably hear the neighbors next door and then next door to them shoveling right now, because it's supposed to turn into rain, and got to get the snow off the driveway before it rains, because then it's going to turn to ice and you're never going to get your car out. So anyway, that's my news. So my shop which is Pearl and Plum, which will continue to operate, but I will have to put it on hold
for a second.
On vacation mode for at least a week, possibly 2. That's another reason why I haven't been posting anything on the Pearl and Plum Instagram, because I haven't really been sewing. I've been just getting ready for this move. I think there's seven bags in the shop right now, and so but once we're settled in Tennessee, I'll start sewing again. Yeah. So yeah, it was a very hard year, having your dad lose his job last year, and yeah.
Well, I mean, for people who don't know us personally, this is kind of just the story of your life, though. My family, it moves.
This is our 10th move in 30 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of moves.
Yeah, that is. But, I know people that have moved more than that.
Yeah, but still a lot of moves.
But usually it's because they're military.
Yeah.
And, yeah, your dad was in the military, but that was
unrelated.
That was only one of the moves.
Okay, well, so on that big news note,
if I talk too much about this, I'm going to start crying. So
okay. Well, will we say goodbye?
I think yes, please.
Okay, I'll do my spiel. You can find the show notes for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. Make sure to follow and like and comment and subscribe and do all the things on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. You can join the Ravelry group, which is Keep Calm and Carry On Podcast. I've created a Archive KCAL thread there if you want to participate, or you can use hashtag Archive KCAL 2021 on Instagram, and that's Cal KCAL because it's knitting and crochet. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry on. Bye.
Bye.